4 times, going 5 times. Hello!
Then Cab yelled some shit. Go ahead.
Hello, and welcome to the latest Second Sons. This is, I believe, episode number 15. I am, as always, Roy Rogers, formerly of the New York City Meta and presently of no Meta. With me today is Aaron Glazer.
Yo.
And our North American champion, Chris Schoenthal. How are you doing, Chris?
Doing great.
And last and absolutely not least in my heart is Sid. How you doing, Sid?
Should have known, everybody. I'm doing great. It's great to be here. I am psyched for Worlds. Let's go. Wait. Who is
My
this?
goodness.
Let's go. Guys, I'm deep. I'm deep into it. I am leaders deep. Let's go. Let's go.
As you can tell from right now, we are buzzless, which is one of the reasons why you can't see any of Buzz's sexy
I'm not
face.
buzzless. I'm definitely not buzzless. I'm feeling the buzz.
Neither am I. I mean,
feeling that buzz.
we Americans we're just watching our presidential candidates debate, which was a drinking level event, if there ever was one.
It was bad.
But
it was real bad.
I ran out of beer.
Oh no, I did not. I bought a lot of beer on Monday, like a lot.
Yeah, I don't have any money. Like, they don't actually pay teachers.
Yeah.
Oh, so you gotta spend that money on diapers instead of brew. I remember those days.
Yeah,
the dry years. The dry years. It's okay. I'm going drinking Saturday. It's Red Throne Soberfest, some bullshit. I'm not going to, but I'm going drinking after.
It's also my going away party from New York, but yes.
What? You're moving? Oh, right. You're not in New York Met anymore.
What?
That's right.
You're moving?
I'm moving. What? What? This thing in the outtake version of this I gave Roy a lot of shit about. Anyway.
I pretended it didn't exist. I assumed we were restarting. I was all like semi-professional about it. Come on.
I know. Well, the second time is almost always better, right? So, anyway, in case you can't tell from our little logo.
That's what Roy told the girl when he first lost his virginity.
That is absolutely what I said. Thank you, Aaron.
The second time is almost always better.
Almost
Aaron was
always.
there.
Like,
I was.
In my
I was cheering.
in my typical Roy way, I was very wishy-washy about it, though. You know, almost always. Anyway, changing the subject. So the World Championship this is our last episode before Worlds, because the joust will be the day we're supposed to be having our next episode was supposed to be the day of the joust. So obviously we won't be having an episode that Wednesday, but we might have one later in the week or that weekend because we're going to want to get, our correspondence.
Wait.
Yeah.
Are you guys spending the weekend in shitty Minnesota? Nope. Yeah, so we can do a weekend episode.
I currently have a flight booked for Saturday, but one of my fellow SoCal people just indicated interest in driving down to Iowa Worlds on Friday and going to that and then flying out from there. So I might end up doing that, which sounds
That is awesome. If you do Iowa Worlds, can you record from Iowa Worlds? Because I would love to get Vancel on this.
Well, I'll do what I can. I'd be down for that too. Kyle Vancel's quite a fellow.
Yeah, Kyle would be. He's the right attitude
really
for this
absorb
show.
Kyle.
Okay, well, we will have we do have 2 live correspondents from Second Sons that will be at Worlds. So before we sort of get into the main topic about the World Championships, Sid, how is your Worlds prep going? Are you excited?
I am so excited. Like, I know FFGOP basically dropped a lot of the balls. Like, they have very few balls still in their hands. They were I've got a couple more for them, I'll tell you what. But so many things have gone wrong for OP this season. The whole schedule is awful. I'm leaving on Friday, but you know what? I'm so excited. I'm so psyched. I'm ready to go. I'm not ready in terms of preparation. I'm still testing. I'm still practicing. But, man, I'm just excited to be there and see everybody and play some Thrones on the world stage, man. I'm psyched.
All right. The only person here with a bye to the World Championship, Chris. Are you ready for your second round at Worlds?
Yeah, I'm gonna do some sleeping in, which is nice. Actually, I probably can't.
I think you have to register still, right? You can't just roll in right when the second round's about to start. Stretch out.
I'm feeling pretty good about things. Missing some testing tonight, which is too bad, but it happens. Duty calls and all that.
Just play Lanny Dragon.
I don't want to play Lanny Dragon.
It'll make
Chris,
Darren
did you
Hazel
win
really
something
sad,
with Lanny
and
Dragon?
That's kind of worth it.
That is true. Landing Dragon, I've done that. I've written that book. I don't need to write it again.
So what you're saying is you're not going to win Worlds. Got it.
Wait. Is this a pre-prediction? Are you just guaranteeing right now that Landing Dragon wins Worlds? Snapping it off.
We'll get there. Let's save that for later. We're going to do some odds in a few minutes. So I've got a real weird Worlds prediction.
I like it. But other than that, yeah, I'm liking where most of the team is going. Sid is there to provide his incorrect opinions, as always, which is fun.
That's right. You know I go banter, guys. I go banter with my choices.
Dude, we know what Sid's playing. Sid's playing some version of a Lanny jumper.
Oh my gosh, I'm so tempted. You know how tempted I am just to throw all the testing up into the air with both hands and just say, you know what? Let's jump all day. But I'll give you the honest truth. I don't think I'll be jumping at Worlds. I don't think I'll be doing
it. That is no fun, because if you win with it, you can name it crisscross, which is just...
You're right, but if I totally miss the cut, which I would probably do,
your pants backwards
I would do that. For day two. For day two, you may just make day two with that deck, and then just wear all your clothes backwards the next day.
That would be fantastic. You have to bring a hat and everything. Come on.
Yeah, but if I don't make the cut, which is likely with that deck, because it probably won't make the cut.
Even the winter version, Sid?
What's that?
Even the version Jakob was playing, the Lanny Winter version of the Jumpers?
Oh man, I got all the versions. I got the winter version, I got the crossing version, I got the summer version, I got the treaty version. I've tried all the versions, boys. They're all tier 1.5. You heard it here.
I really hope it wins now.
Oh my god. If it wins, I'll eat crow.
I really hope that Jakob hands the deck he built with Sid, and to the Swedish champion. No, to the Swedish champion, and then this... It's one step removed. It's like multiple steps removed from Sid, and that deck beats him in the Swiss.
That's true. But the Swedish champion isn't a Swede, so I don't know if any Swedes are coming. Well,
as far as I don't know who's coming from Team Europe. I'm hoping LaPlante is coming again.
I know LaPlante always comes, man. If LaPlante isn't there,
he's got a tradition of flaming out at Worlds, even though he's great everywhere else.
He's so feisty and little. He's fun to be around. I don't know.
Garçon.
Wow.
LaPlante considers Worlds his own personal no exit. He's just trying to get out of hell.
It's true.
This is what Aaron can get away with when one of LaPlante's close personal friends isn't on the show.
Dude, I like LaPlante. LaPlante's a buddy. I don't make fun of people.
I'm telling you,
I don't make fun of people I don't
like. Pick it up.
That's not true. I make fun of Alex Hines. But besides Alex Hines, I don't make fun of people I don't like.
Fair enough.
That is specifically because Will would never let me get away with that shit.
I know he wouldn't. This would all be edited out, but I fucking am just going to cut the beginning of when we screwed up the technical side of this. No, this is just all going up.
You should cut Kep this week and just have you arguing with yourself.
Well, I might keep that at the end. I might pull a Will and put that at the end of the podcast version of this. All right, so, there's one interesting thing that a little bird told me that is sort of a gift for you guys who are able to attend Worlds. I hear that the Lanny box is actually going to be for sale at Worlds. So you Worlds folks are going to have, an extra leg up on us. Because that's kind of, I think, the big non-Worlds news. I mean, we got a new tournament document, which really wasn't a huge shift, I guess. It sort of just clarified some things. But the other big news is the Lanny box is off the boat. It is shipping now, which means it should be available roughly around Worlds to everybody else. But, my sources tell me that absolutely it will be at the FFG Center for the World Championship.
But legal for nothing.
For nothing. So
I mean, still a misplay, I think, on their part. Should have been out 2 weeks ago.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. I mean, I think that's kind of the... Didn't we lament that, I think, in the last episode?
I'm sure we did.
That's kind of what we do, is lament things. So... But that, I think, right, besides, does anyone have any, before we do our over-unders predictions for World Championship, does anyone have any sort of thoughts about the changes to the tournament document, which I know Aaron didn't read, so he has no thoughts?
Dice are gone, right?
Get them out of here.
That's right.
That's still wiggly, right?
I didn't have super strong feelings about it, but I'm happy. I'm happy they're gone. Dice are just kind of messy. These big blocks. Get rid of them. I like nice flat tokens. Keep the surface, 2D. It's better. It's better that way.
Well, it's unclear. Like, you can't use dice for a power total anymore, right? But you could still theoretically use dice from the way it's described in the rules for measuring like power, like strength increases.
Yep. Fantasy Flight specifically said dice will not be allowed as counters.
Okay. Wow.
That was kind of an addendum. because somebody expressly asked that.
Oh, so that's on the Twitter. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Right,
why it wasn't
because they
exactly.
couldn't actually
so
use the
clarify.
word dice in the document, right?
Because who knows? There might be some card that requires dice in the future, right?
Right. And it's funny because, we are all excited about it, and apparently Netrunner forums are just a tire fire about this right now. So that's fun.
Yeah, I really never liked it when anyone used dice as a power counter, but I never had a problem if someone used it like as a strength boost tracker. I mean, it's the easiest way if you're gonna.
I don't mind it for gold either.
Yeah, for gold either. Yeah.
I don't love it for gold, but I mean, we have video evidence that it's just as easy to cheat with tokens as it is with dice. So
There you go. True.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that the fact that like I don't mind like if someone accidentally knocked their gold, dice somewhere and it got lost, and it's easy to at the end of the day figure out how much gold someone should have spent in a phase. But if you knock your power, dice and it goes all across the room, like trying to remember, oh no, I had 13 power. No wait, I think I remember you having 11. Like that's way too much of a shady situation for me. And as a TO, it's much harder to sort of correct people's power totals than it is to correct their gold or to go over with a player about what the strength of a character should be. So I definitely am glad that that's dead. That you have to use actual counters for power. Like that, I think is the fundamental thing that I'm really happy with about the changes.
According to Matt Edelman, the dice thing comes from Netrunner, where they're a huge problem.
right, I think I said that too.
Oh, I don't listen when you talk. Sorry, Chris.
Good enough.
I actually started messaging Johnny on Facebook because I don't care about rules documents. What am I listening to Beyond the Wall? No thanks.
All right. Any other thoughts about the document before I'm just sort of dancing around the main topic here for a little bit?
Dive in.
Get in, yeah.
All right, we'll dive right in. Well, this is Glazer's section. All right, Aaron, why don't you start us off? What are we doing here?
I want to do like over, under, and bets that we can keep track of and mock each other for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that sounds good.
This is the Vegas. We're setting the line right now, right?
Yeah,
We're doing
Yeah, unlike
setting
other
lines.
podcasts, including the other podcast that I'm on, we're going to actually make definitive predictions that you can then feel free to mock us and bring up again in later episodes of Second Son. So,
Yeah,
Beyond the Wall
we'll
won't
keep
do
track
this.
of it on the doc. We'll share it with everybody once shit starts going down.
right. Beyond the Wall, they always do that what won't win worlds, which is like, the world won't end tomorrow, and you should get a pat on the back for picking that up. For that.
Terrell's son will not win worlds again. Again. Someone else do the hosting shit because I'm not gonna.
Well, I don't. I actually hold on. I don't have the document necessarily open.
You don't have the thing open.
I just got it. I got it.
I'll start it up. We want to do tournament stats first.
Yep.
Okay. So everybody, give me your over under on number of players for Melee. We've got it set at 70 right now. So Chris, what do you think? 70 players for Melee with all the recent kind of FFG talk about Melee going to a side event. Over under 70 players. What do you think?
Since I set that line, it's going to be difficult for me to take a position here. I'm going to go.
Are you guys
Melee is Friday, is that correct?
That is correct.
It is correct.
It's when everyone with any sense is getting the fuck out of Minnesota, yes.
I'm going to go under 70.
Yeah, I'm under 2. I don't see any reason to play Melee at all.
Oh my god, this is like physically paining me, but I also am going to agree. Under 70. Like, I think it's just the throne schedule, and this is again something you can go to past Second Son episodes and listen about. FFG fucked Melee over this year, and it didn't fuck it over just by making it a side event. Just the way the throne schedule is done this year is just terrible. So yeah, it's going to be under 70. I would say like 60 max, which I think is about what we had at Gen Con. So
my guess is like 40.
Ooh,
that's
I don't think it'll be that low. I'm going to put myself at under also. As soon as I saw the schedule and saw what was happening and saw the way they treated a Melee, I got my return flight for Friday because I was just like, why stay, right? If they're not going to kind of put up, why would I show up? So yeah, and I think a lot of people, even if they're not kind of leaving Friday, I think they're going to find other things to do, better things to do with their time with such a full schedule than playing a Melee that doesn't matter, like drafting, which we're promised product. I mean, the product better be there, right? Because we're drafting on Thursday. So people are going to be able to do that, and I think they'd much rather do that for fun than play Melee, basically, for fun.
Everyone said under, which means the over is Chris said a shitty line.
Apparently I did.
All right, well, here's one that is
Chris
actually...
should have to take the over on principle.
all right, here's an actual over-under that is actually legit. So, do we think we'll have over 220 players or under 220 players? We'll set Sid, since you started the last one, your turn. What do you think? I'm going to get another beer while you're doing it.
I'm going to say over. I don't know FFG's max numbers, but I have to assume it's going to be over 220. If it's not over 220, then that's just one more reason to rail on them. I think the interest is there. I think people are excited for Worlds. I think we're going to have 200 and something, and I think that number will probably be over 250 for the Joust Championships. Yeah, that's my prediction. You could have set this line Wednesday? At 240, and I would have gone over. Oh, yeah, because, I mean, it's Worlds, man. If you're going to travel, you travel. You take the time off, you go.
Yeah, but Gen Con's a real thing that like people can go to and actually have fun.
All right,
yeah,
I will disagree with Blazer there. Worlds is a lot of fun.
Man. We got Europe coming to Worlds. I tell you what, how many California players were at Gen Con, Chris?
Two.
26?
No, how many California players?
California players.
Oh, California players.
The state of California game.
5. And I think California players coming to Worlds, I'm not sure of the exact number, but I think we're going to be at least 15, maybe more like 20.
Yeah, our group for Gen Con was 17, and all of one person is going.
One person is going to Worlds?
From the Canadian.
New York just sucks. You heard
No,
it.
Yeah, he's not from New York. He's from Wisconsin.
I know, he's from Wisconsin. I think the problem with Worlds, I mean, there's, like, again, we're getting a little off topic, but we're also on topic. Like, the problem with Worlds is the Joust is on Wednesday. Like, I couldn't do that when I was an unemployed, 100% of the time graduate student. I can't do that with my current job either. Next year, when there's a more reasonable schedule, because it's just going to be, we don't even have Conquest to worry about, right? It's just going to be Netrunner and Thrones, right? Right now.
L5R.
And L5R.
Don't forget L5R.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. We'll see if they do a World Championship next year.
They'll have something, right?
They'll have something.
Kingslayer on, and there'll be something going on.
Right. But, all right, so 3 games, right? It will be much more reasonable, I think. It'll go back to like being a Thursday, Friday, kind of Saturday event, right? Kind of thing, which is much more reasonable than expecting people to be available to play Joust at 9:00 in the morning on a Wednesday. Like plan on making Worlds.
Quit circling the wagons. Are you over? Or are you
under? Because I think plenty of people registered, but there's going to be people that just can't show up. So I think under.
I don't want to agree with Roy. Fine, fucking, I'm under 2. I just think like Minnesota and SoCal will be a lot of people, and Wisconsin and
DC
will be a lot of people, and like Toronto will be a group, and then I don't know who else goes. Like if you don't have a big group going, I don't think you get that like giant trickle of little people who are just like, you know what, I'm gonna go alone on a Wednesday.
Disagree.
I mean, we're gonna fucking find out. Like
they maxed out. Like they
Johnny
maxed
right?
out. They sold
keeping track
all
of this
the tickets
for us?
and they sold them out
I love
quickly.
You, Johnny.
Do you think they only did 180 tickets or something for Worlds? That would be horribly short-sighted for them.
Wait, you mean you think FFG OP might have done something horribly short-sighted?
I forget it. Put me in the under. No. I stick over. I stick with the over. I'm sticking with it. I think over 220.
Oh,
yes.
All right, champ. What do you think?
Over.
You think over?
Yes.
Chris says over. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
This is a SoCal. This is East Coast, West Coast rivalry here.
Maybe over 220. Yeah.
Yeah. Easily.
Okay.
Yes.
Me. All right. That is our how many people show the fuck up onto prop.
But let me just say one more thing about that. The 2 people who aren't going, so probably have no real concept of who's going, are under, and the 2 people who are going are over. So I think you know who to trust. I think you know who is like got their finger on the pulse on this one.
Yeah. The 3 of us that went to Gen Con.
Oh, your finger on it, baby.
That's right. My finger's always on the pulse. The jugular. I go to the neck.
All right. So are we gonna we gonna move into like?
Yeah, the prop bets. It's right next on the list.
The prop, or we don't want to do graduated cut first? Okay, we'll do props.
No, prop.
All right,
prop
so We'll do Super Inside Baseball now. Everyone make their pick for most likely to blow chunks on the walk from sensors. We'll start with Aaron. Aaron?
Yeah, Simone. Simone can't handle his shit. He tries to drink too much and he weighs 12 pounds. It's Simone.
So is Simone, is he going to drink out of sadness or celebration?
Oh, no. Simone's not actually good at second edition, so, like, he'll drink out of sadness.
Do we have any confirmation that he's actually going to be there? This is the first I've heard of this, and he is
Simone's going to be there. If he's not there, I will be very disappointed.
If Simone's not there, you have no shot of hitting 220.
he brings so
people
much.
does Simone count for? I'm so confused.
If Simone's not coming, then DC isn't represented, right?
Exactly, right?
It's like they're just not going. If DC is showing up, Simone is showing up. So they're like, I think he does really bring a lot of people. Or he's the canary in the coal mine, right? If Simone's not there, something is wrong in DC. Something's horribly wrong.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's not in DC anymore, so
that's true.
All right, Chris, this is on you.
See, the problem for me is I've never
we all need to
actually seen anyone throw up outside Joe Sensors.
It could be in the bathroom. It could be around the vicinity. Who's drinking too much?
I mean, there's a lot of people that drink too much, but people like Ryan Jones, like he can hold his liquor like a madman.
Yeah, I mean,
so don't pick Ryan Jones, Dick.
Right. Who is corruptible? Is really the question. Like, who's going down? Who's going to make a bad decision?
All right, I'll go. All right,
sure.
This is the test.
Just because he's already in my column, I'm just going to go with Johnny Wright.
All right, I'm going to say Matt Gelman if he's there.
It's a dark horse. It's a dark horse for sure because I know he doesn't drink a lot. But we'll see what we can do.
No, I feel like he's corruptible though. Like he's for sure corruptible. He's so far from home. He's got none of his safeguards. Lonely. We can really like push him hard. Like last year at Worlds, he wasn't as known as he is now. Like people will know him a little bit more. I think they'll push those drinks at him. Yeah, that's a good pick.
This is just designed to make you push drinks on people.
Using cardboard tokens and wrong house cards this year. So
that's right.
All right.
So I say Matt Gelman.
Oh, Gelman! I like that pick. Why Gelman, Roy?
Because I'm just throwing shade at a good friend of mine, and I want to see him. I want to see him vomit. I want an Instagram photo of Matt having done too many shots at Sensors.
Wait, is Sean going too?
No, I think Matt's just going with the Thunder Bay guys.
Oh, okay. Sid.
Oh, it's me. Okay, I'm gonna go a little controversial. I'm gonna go Seth Lowe, and here's my perfect scenario. Because I know he doesn't drink that much. I know he is not your typical, like, just sloshed-faced yakking in the parking lot. But here's what I think. I think the second place curse rears its head again, and just everyone just lays it on thick. And if any of you know my good friend Rings, you know that night at Sensors after Joust, he's going to start buying, like, trays of shots. And I just imagine Seth, just one after another, right? Just machine gun.
Are we sure Rings is going?
Boom, boom. Oh yeah,
I believe Rings is going because he and I had conversation about carpooling down to Iowa Worlds together.
Oh, that's who it was. That makes a lot of
Rings
sense.
confirmed. I don't think Rings would miss it for much. There's not much
that's
really comes.
Not who I was talking about. Somebody from SoCal's also thinking about going. But.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
That's my bold prediction. I wouldn't put money on it, but man, the visuals are too good to pass up.
All right. Next question: who is the first holder of a card design to be featured on stream? Now, what I'm going to say is this card design has to have been published, right?
No, that's silly.
In 2.0?
No, if they have a card design, whether it's published or not. Like the first person that either has the first person that has a card design.
So,
and Chris can't pick himself.
Starting, we're just talking like top table live stream, or are we talking like top 8?
Well, are they going to do top tables for the Swiss?
First person to be on a live stream, period, for whatever reason. Like in a game.
For thrones, though.
So not wandering by the camera.
Right, not wandering by the camera. That's silly.
I don't
know why this is better.
I'll go first here, because I have a clear opinion. I think it's going to be Kid.
Damn it. Took my pick.
Yeah, I was going with Brett's.
Brett's is a good choice, though. I think it's Kid, though.
I just think Brett's plays something interesting, and because he plays something interesting, they're like, all right, let's stick that guy on.
Well, let's just hope FFG's social media team is a lot better this year about picking who will be on the for streaming.
Okay, let's not be silly. They don't know who any of us are.
That's true. Well, they need to get actually like no offense to Team Covenant guys, but like they need to get actual people.
No, they
do
don't
the
even play
commentary.
Thrones anymore. Like
I
it's
know.
okay. You can say like
Covenant
some
play
offense.
Thrones?
They basically drop Thrones, right? I mean, they don't do anything about it. They don't talk about it. They don't play it. Like that's fine.
Like
Team Covenant should not be doing any kind of commentary for Thrones.
I agree. Like they should look. There's tons of podcasts for Thrones. There's tons of there's a community, and I think the same thing
Right.
for Netrunner. Like
Johnny Wright says, "Keep the shit running."
All right. Thanks, Johnny.
Chris, who you
Shut
got?
up, Johnny. You're puking, man. You're puking on that night. You don't get to talk.
All right, Chris.
Who you got?
And you can't pick yourself, Chris.
Yeah, you can. Why not?
Well,
Fucking
why
pick
not?
yourself.
So it's not going to be me because they'll probably have somebody in the first round, I would assume. And I won't be playing the first round, so I'm going to go with Rings. Rings always likes to get on camera.
Oh, that makes sense.
He does end up on camera a lot.
He's very handsome.
It's true.
He is
Not in the
definitely-
top 8 so much anymore, but he usually does find his way onto camera. Yeah.
All right, so Rings, and what do you got, Sid?
Shoot, since Chris wouldn't do it, I'm going to say Chris Schoenthal. I think he's there. I think we see Chris.
Yeah,
early.
who says they fucking stream round one? Since when do they
Because
do
here's
that?
the thing. Here's my prediction. Not only will Chris do well, but I think FFG maybe just extracts its head from its own anus and says, you know what? He's the North American champion. Let's put him on stream round 1. I feel like that would be...
They don't know who he is. You're confused.
I mean,
Stop with
I
an
mean,
H.
Like two people know who he is there, Nate and Danny, and like they're not running the streams.
Well, they're going to be there.
Yeah,
and-
they're not running streams.
Well, they might be commentating. I mean, I don't know. I
They're
think
not commentating. Nate's not fucking coming on camera without
Here's the thing.
preparation.
They listen to this podcast. I'm going to pretend that they do.
God, I hope not.
And they always take my advice. I'm going to pretend they do that too. And Chris is going to be on that stream. Boom, North American champ versus some scrub, and it'll be a murder. It'll be great.
Is this scrub going to be you? That'd be hilarious.
Oh my god, that would be so horrible. I wish they wouldn't pair metamates at giant tournaments, but they do.
well, I mean,
At least it would be second round.
yeah, second. I mean, but they do have a bad history.
Oh
about
yeah,
this,
true. It
right?
wouldn't be first round because Chris has the bye. Dang it!
That's what I was saying, bro.
Oh,
Yeah, but who
still-
knows? I mean, they may not pick a
myself.
champion. They may.
I don't think they start
round
streaming
one,
in round
round
one.
one's gonna be just scrub on scrub. So I stand by my bet.
All right. So
So yeah, if the person doesn't have a card design,
all
that
right,
makes a lot of sense.
here we go. What will be the first plots played in the final match?
Wait, are we skipping the next one because Johnny hates it?
Yes, since Johnny is doing all the hard work here for us. Johnny's our little administrative
Who
assistant
invited
in
this guy to
episode.
edit our
He actually made the doc because we were all too lazy to. Remember us arguing about who was gonna have to make the doc?
Oh yeah, I remember somehow me accepting that responsibility and
never
flaking. Oh dang!
So I was like, I know who will do it.
All right, Johnny, right? You're the real MVP, man.
All right, let's delete the. Our question was, what will the power total loser in the final? And no one cares.
Yeah, that is lame. Who cares?
All right, what will be the
Good job,
first
Johnny.
plots played in the final match? Hey, Johnny, if you want to be in this episode, we'll throw you in. There's no video requirement here, so.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Nah, fuck that guy.
No, you can't do it. His microphone is
Yes,
so
Mike is
jacked.
the
Yeah.
worst.
Can't. Oh my, we play on Octagon all the time, and oh man, he needs an upgrade. Oh, it's horrible.
That's a good point. I played him on Octagon on Sunday, and my ears still hurt.
All right.
It's so horrible. I love you, Johnny, but dude, you need to
One
tech
of
it
the-
up, bro.
One of the first plots in the final match. Somebody go.
Oh.
Wait, both plots or just one of?
Just one.
Oh,
just
so
like-
whoever the
like,
first
just one.
player
That's
is?
crazy talk.
Right.
No one's gonna get both. Just pick one. If you get one right, you win this bet. I'm going calm.
Safe bet. Fuck you, Glazer.
I think
Don't
it's
wait,
How is Calm a safe
I got
bet?
this.
No,
Summer Harvest. I'm calling Summer Harvest.
No,
Okay.
you guys are both. I'm gonna. Can I put a sub bet on neither plot will be a summer
No.
plot?
No,
Okay.
you need to put a
No,
finger
I'm
on.
gonna pick one of my own, but I just want to just write this down that I don't believe either one will be a summer plot.
All right, you got a 2-bit bet.
Well, because Chris is
it's not
playing
going to
Lenny.
be.
Chris
What
is playing
is it?
Lenny Dragon again, and that's not in Lenny Dragon. So,
I'm gonna go with Noble Cause. We got play
All right.
Night.
All right.
so Roy should pick Naval to fuck.
No.
Except
Here's
that's
what I
not
think is
gonna
gonna
get
happen.
two out
All
of
right.
those 3 plots, though.
It's gonna be some bullshit Stark deck that is in the top the top 2. So I'm gonna say trading with the Pantoshi.
Ooh, that's not bad. Because if Naval's down, hey.
Yeah, and everyone should know what everyone's running at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not a bad call.
All right.
Oh man, someone should have picked Varys' riddle. You guys all suck. All right.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
All right. Highest finish seating for day 2 of someone who has at least 2 beers. All right, I'm going first because I want this to get before the SoCal guys. Ryan Jones.
Damn it.
Yeah, Rings. I think Rings is going to show up in Beast for some reason.
All right, there we go.
Ooh, Rings. That guy plays like 3 games a year.
Yeah, but he's like just naturally good at thrones.
Yeah.
The problem is there's not enough uniques in second edition yet for Rings to make it that far. So
true.
he is off the list.
Shit,
He
that's
needed
a
that
really
landing
good
box. He really needed that landing box.
He did.
And he's
I'm gonna
playing
go.
Lanny deck.
I'm gonna go James Speck.
Huh. I love Spec. Spec's a good dude.
And highest finish, it's already at 2 beers.
How do I end up doing a podcast with 2 SoCal guys and neither one is Spec?
Who are drinkers?
Who are drinkers? Sandy's not going.
The Brotherhood boys are going.
Yeah, but they don't fucking count.
Do they drink? I don't know.
They do.
They're soft. They think they can drink. Let's move on.
That is definitely true. But they are going to be there.
Canadians will be there. A few Canadians. Someone from Toronto could be. I think they take this shit too seriously to actually drink heavily. Who doesn't give a shit enough to actually drink while they play? Oh, is Luke up? Luke's not going, right?
Luke's not going now. Patrick's a teetotaler.
Is he 21? Did he hit 21? Oh,
no, next Worlds. Next
7.
Worlds.
Or
Ed, come on. Look,
pick somebody.
I already picked somebody. Come on, Sid.
Man, I don't. Frick, I don't want to pick a SoCal guy because I know them and I know they'll drink. But man, I want to branch out. But I don't know anybody.
Just pick Sam. He drinks and plays.
Let's see. You know what? Here's the thing.
Right here, Sid. Just say my name. It's fine.
No, Chris, you're not gonna drink 2 beers during the freaking joust. Come on, man. You and I, we don't roll like that. I want to win, guys. All right, Chris Thompson. You better drink, bro.
Good pick.
There you go. That's a good one.
He doesn't drink enough.
I will buy Chris Thompson 2 drinks.
Johnny,
I
like that Johnny just starts yelling at us in the comments. It's like, hurry the fuck up. Sorry, Johnny.
I mean, technically, if there's a chance one of them could make, like, top 8, you just give them 2 beers real quick, and then you can win. So
there you go. Ooh, there you go, Roy. Thanks for that. Johnny Wright, he just wants to, like, Netflix and chill with his wife. Ignore his comments right now. We can just keep rolling.
Hey, let's be a dick to Johnny. Johnny,
that's right.
You can add people from the chats votes to this. That would be hilarious.
All right.
So Johnny, let's go.
Get right on that, Johnny.
Pick it up, buddy. If you're gonna yell at us, you get to add chat people. Because Soylent Sauce, which is an awesome name, and Matt both picked plots for that. So they should get their votes.
Next option. So concessions, 1.5 concessions from the DC Wisconsin guys.
Ooh,
over under. Whoa! All right, wait.
So Corey's is 1. So is there going to be another one besides Corey's?
If Corey hasn't been playing in jousts recently, though. Corey has not been.
No. He's DC and he counts.
No, but he hasn't been playing though. Like he didn't play in the joust last year in the final of 1.0 or for 2.0. None of them really played except for the Wisconsin guys are the ones who really played in 2.0 last year. So 1.0, Corey didn't even play. He didn't play at Gen Con. My first Gen Con, Corey didn't play. He didn't play at Gen Con this past year.
Wait. Time out. I've got over for fucking just in the cut.
Just in the cut. Like you
graduated
mean
cut.
the graduated
Cut and cut. I've got over for that, yeah. Like they dropped in the top 4 at Gen Con. Like they're dropping way more than 1.5.
That's true. Yeah, it's definitely an over for me.
Yeah, I'm also on team over.
Johnny's now putting in non-podcasters. Thanks, Aaron.
I like first. It's fine. Let's just fuck with Johnny. I'm okay with that. All right. So and guys,
I'm gonna be charitable and wrong and take the under.
One or less.
Thanks for the money, Chris.
I mean, the fundamental question is here, and Aaron and Johnny should have done this. Is there's 2 separate things. Is Seth in the graduated cut? Because if Seth's in the graduated cut,
that's later, dude. Shut up. That's like 2
immediately over. It's going to be just whoever the DC people are just going to concede to him. If Seth's not in the graduated cut, then it's going to be every man for himself. But if Seth
is Seth the chosen one, or is he a scrub? This.
I mean, he could be both.
Well, so you're saying they would like uplift the scrub, like send him all the way there?
I mean, how do you think he keeps getting in second place?
I have a really, really bad.
Play your top 8 games.
I have a really, really bad reference to make here. So,
Must feel good. Must be nice. Must be nice.
All right, so I think all of us have chimed in on this concessions question, right?
Oh, Roy didn't.
I said
over under.
Over. I'm over. It's going to be like 3 people will concede to each other. I think it's probably about right. All right, so over under on cheating/collusion controversies.
1.5.
1.5. So
I've got. Okay, I'll wait. Go ahead.
I'll start. I'm going to say under. I think. I think with the amount of coverage I'm expecting and the amount of kind of blow-ups we've had this last year and a half.
That's how we start this.
I'm saying maybe one controversy, but the fact that a lot of controversies have come from Melee, and that's like, who cares now? There's not been a lot of joust controversies, especially not at Worlds. So I'm saying one tops, under. Give me the under.
I will also agree with Sid. I think it's going to be under. I think there will be one controversy, and it'll be a big one. I mean, like last year we had Chris Kowalski's like the epic thread about how he's a horrible human being with the pictures of like Nate and Danny looking
don't talk shit about the New York meta just because you're not a part of it anymore.
That's true. Danny looking confused, and Nate looking and slightly overwhelmed, and Nate looking like he was going to solve this murder case. And there's like me and Patrick kind of in the background, like, uh-oh, what's going on?
Looking 12.
Yep.
So you're picking under?
I'm picking under. I think we'll have one big, huge card game DB, huge Facebook, big episode of Second Sons about this controversy, but it'll be one of them.
I think there's at least 3 because there will be one on each of those, and it won't be the same one. Like Seth will come on here and randomly cause another giant fight. There'll be one in the Facebook group because they're idiots, and there will be one on Card Game DB because they are also idiots.
But wait, we're talking cheating collusion, right? Does that stuff fall under cheating collusion?
Like there'll be, yeah.
I mean, collusion is the DC stuff, right?
Oh my god, I can't believe that Nate let someone do that because that was one of his friends. Yeah, some stupid shit. Yeah. Some little idiot will be stupid.
This is why Danny's going to be the head judge for the joust. That way, no one,
Yeah, you didn't describe Danny right because you didn't use the word beautiful.
He is a very handsome man. But anyway, curly hair. Anyway.
Wait. We need last.
We need our champ.
Under.
Good. I like that.
All right.
Right?
So it's only
this
Glazer.
Is positivity, right? We're expecting good things from Worlds this year.
Well, no.
Someone is.
What we're expecting is, I feel like these days, like the Thrones community can take one controversy at a time. And I feel like Worlds is going to cause
in the week
one
after
big
there will be
controversy.
6, and it'll just be a stage, and then because Facebook pushes things down, it'll disappear. All right. How under 1.5 organized play snafus, and you should be proud that I didn't say fuck ups.
Wait, you
over.
Can
Way
you,
over.
Can you clarify what you would consider
Mispairings, misscorings,
over,
randomly giving the shittiest gift in the world for people.
Misinformation, right?
Bad
Yeah,
rulings,
like
bad
cheating.
rulings.
Badly screwing up a ruling that's been established long term, like the Varys thing.
All right.
So
I'm definitely.
You know what?
over.
We should throw another one. Judge who isn't Nate screwing up the Varys Riddle ruling.
Yeah, I would have bet. I would have picked 6.
Screwing up? How are you saying going the other way on it at Worlds?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Someone who isn't Nate and Danny.
wait.
We'll throw Danny in there too. One of the secondary judges.
Wait, hang on. You know why I could never run a company for the millionth reason? But if I was in charge of Worlds, someone would dupe the Arbor on setup, and I would change the ruling on the spot. And okay.
Well,
on the spot.
This is literally. I mean, this is infamously what has happened at Worlds, right? In past times. Right?
This has happened before.
Dude, Nate's given bad rulings in front of me.
Are we talking Varys Summer Harvest? Is that what you're talking? Just go the other way on that?
The power on the Red Viper ruling? That was a fun one.
Yes, I'm talking about that the player gets to choose which version of the variable that they are going to use, kind of thing. I can see a secondary judge screwing that up, and neither player realizing it's a bad calling, and later being they lose the game, and then they say to their friend, "Oh, I lost the game because of this ruling." They're like, "Oh, that's the wrong ruling," And then the
Which
Facebook group
becomes
goes
a cheating collusion controversy.
Okay, if we're gonna include like the secondary judges in this, like the ones that were like the Walmart greeters at Gen Con.
I mean, they don't have Walmart greeters at Worlds. It's all their people.
No, that's not true.
Really?
No, they're gonna
Yeah,
they had them last
they're
year.
bringing in volunteers. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, if we're including those, I think we should have set the over under higher because that I don't think.
So
those,
let's bump it up.
I don't think those
Let's bump it up to.
count toward-
Wait.
I don't
Let's
think
bump
those
it up to
count toward
3.5.
FFGOP.
3.5.
3.5. Over under 3.5 organized play.
I will
still
still
thinking-
say
We're talking about just Thrones events, right?
Just Thrones events. I don't give a shit about other games.
All right, I'm still over.
I'm still over too. We bumped it up too.
That's a close line, though. Like, that's a legitimate.
Yeah, that's why I
you
jumped
could
it
take an under and be right.
I'm still over
Like,
here
if
though.
they do
I think-
3, that's horrible.
I think if the line was 4.5, I'd have to think about it a little bit. But
All
I
right,
think
do we want to
less
make it 4.5?
is easily over.
If you go 4.5, I'll switch to under. If you can find me legitimately four snafus.
Someone else who's not me
Oh,
read what Johnny Wright just typed on the
I'm
document.
trying
Johnny
the
Wright just said,
Beyonce
"I'm trying the
gallon of water a day."
Beyonce gallon of
That's
water
what Johnny
thing a
Wright just
day."
said.
All right, so we're making the over under 4.5. Just go feet, motherfucker.
Four?
We don't need you to be here. 4.5.
All right, 4.5. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go under.
I'm keeping over.
4.5. Wow.
I'm
All
an
right. All right. I am gonna follow Chris advice. I'm gonna hesitate. I'm still gonna say over.
Wow.
I think I am too.
I think they're gonna be running way
my
too
gosh,
many
guys.
games.
I think I'm at 5. Like
No, I think FFG OP is a little bit, not totally, but a little bit more aware, and I think they'll contain it to 4 or less total screw ups. That's such a sad thing to say, but I believe it.
No,
4 or less.
And I don't mean this I really don't mean my opinion here in a malicious way. Like,
I do.
I think they're going to be running way too many games. I think it's clear it's way too many games being run at once. I think they're saying this. They're doing the Swan Song, the Conquest. They're trying to make Thrones one of their most competitive games. Netrunner is in a very critical position right now. There's just way too Star Wars. All the Star Wars games. There's way too much. Who knows what they're going to want to do with Star Wars Destiny? I'm almost certain there's going to be a Star Wars Destiny promotion at this event. Like,
No, but it'll be in May. They're gonna move that to May, right? I mean,
yeah, they're moving it to May, but not this year.
Be out? I don't think
it's gonna. I bet they'll have it for sale there.
They'll have it for sale, and they're going to do like a side event or a promotional
might
thing.
play
I
it.
would not be
No,
surprised.
Yeah, they'll probably.
I
I wouldn't be surprised if they did a sealed there.
Right. There's going to be so
They'll
much
suck.
shit going on, and they're going to fuck up. Like, it's just because there's way too much shit. Next year, I would not take this bet. This is a terrible bet for next
Wait
year.
a
But
minute.
this
Are we
year
going
it's
Beyond Thrones
smart.
now? You're talking about Star Wars. Are we going Beyond Thrones?
No. I'm saying
No,
because of all of the events that they're running, they're going to fuck up.
All right, guys, we only got one more prop bet. Let's do this.
All right.
All right.
The big
Wow,
one.
Chris, you stayed over, huh?
All right. The big one is Seth Low placement. Here are the options. Second winning, obviously. So that's second place.
Well, obviously, he's never done that before.
Top 8.
Wait, no, you're missing it. Yes.
Graduated
First,
cut.
Second, which has got the best odds. It's like
And not in the
2 to 1.
cut. So these are your options.
Second is the only one with house odds for Vegas.
He
Yeah, he should be in Vegas with that odds.
he wins the tournament. He continues his run as second place Seth. He's in the top 8. He's in the graduated cut, or he is nowhere to be found. We'll choose his most
missing?
recent
Are we
opponent.
gonna go looking for him? If that's the case, that's scary.
Yeah. So, Chris, you're his most recent opponent here of all of us.
Good call.
Where are you going to place Seth here?
Top 8. I don't think he's going all the way to second again unless
That's where
specifically
Chris,
paired
that's
up,
where
but
Chris
top
knocks
8.
it out.
Ooh. I mean, he was a knockout machine last year at Worlds. Like,
I think he misses the cut.
ooh. Like the graduated
just
cut, or he
scrubs
misses the cut entirely?
Scrubs out.
Yeah, I think he just scrubs out. I think he shows up and like he's playing something a little bit less than ideal, and he scrubs out. I just wanted to pick something different and do it. To be honest, I totally don't believe that, but that's what I'm betting.
All right, Sid.
I'm gonna agree with Chris and say top 8. I'm not gonna call final table. I think in a tournament this size, and like I said earlier, I think it'll go well over 220. Just calling a first or second out of a 220 field is ludicrous to me. But I think it's given him props as a top 8 because Seth's a great player, and I think he'll make top 8. And I'm not confident going further than that.
All right, I'm gonna say this. Like, I've only been playing Thrones while Seth's been on this run of winning regionals, coming in second place in these huge tournaments. I'm also gonna place him at second. I'm gonna say he's not gonna break the curse this year. He's gonna knock a lot of beloved players out of the top and new players out of the top 8. But he's gonna lose to someone in that final table. That he is gonna again.
Ooh. I'm adding a prop.
Ooh, are you adding what I think you're adding, Aaron?
Wait, yeah. How many players that didn't play 1-0 in the top 8?
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, because seriously, if Seth goes to second and loses in the final, I hope if that happens, I hope it's just some kid who just picked up the game from his buddy and has been playing for 3 months and he just rolls it.
You mean like Sam Bratz? You mean like Sam?
Yeah, like a Sam Bratz story on his first victory, where everyone's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" That would be so cool.
To be completely honest, what I'm actually hoping for is I want a SoCal versus DC final.
You know what's interesting about Bratz, right? After he wins the next year, he does scrub out, right? So it would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, he scrubbed out in Joust, but then he won the fucking.
The second edition Corset tournament. Come on, man.
But
he was just like smarter than everybody else. Bratz saw beyond. He saw beyond.
And he outplayed people in that tournament. Like it's.
Oh yeah.
Like,
but I think Bratz. Honestly, I think he saw the meta beyond the meta and just made the right call. Like he had a great deck.
So how many people who didn't play 1.0 make the top 8?
3.
2.
3.
I'm gonna say. I like 3. I like that number 3. 2 seems too small. There's a lot of new players. I mean, I think a lot of the reason why we're going to get over 220 is with all these new players.
4.
Ooh, Glazer half.
Glazer half.
But we'll get there when we get to our meta talk. Well,
there are some new popular metas, man. That's
all right,
true.
here's the thing I'm going to say. I'm going to say this. If the Brotherhood guys actually get their shit together and they're there, I could see Joe making the top 8, and he'll lose in the first.
Joe's not making that top 8. Joe's terrible. Someone good. Pick someone good.
No, I'm going to say it. Joe from the Brotherhood guys.
Joe may be a terrible person, but I don't think it's fair to say he's a terrible Thrones player.
Oh no, he's bad.
I don't think that's fair.
I think Glazer. Here's the thing. You came to one tournament to try to beat him, and then these guys didn't show up to that tournament. Every other opportunity you've had to kick their asses, you've backed out. So Red Saturday is when you're going to come and defend your title will be the time that you get to prove, hopefully, truthfully.
I don't know if I'm making any tournaments, honestly.
Like Glazer, you're such a
I can whatever. When you had an infant, how many tournaments were you making?
Look, Aaron, I promise you, I will come up one of the weekends in November, and I will talk to Carla and beg her personally to get you to come to Red Saturday.
Like if you can get permission, but
you have to defend your title, man. You have to.
No, I can do one of the two. I can either go drinking or go play Thrones.
For Red Saturday, I want you to go and defend your title. That's my attitude.
A priority.
But anyway, this is a separate fight for Aaron and I to have, not on the air. All right. But I want him to defend his title. Just like I convinced Dave Strom to defend his Thronetoberfest title this year. All right.
Yeah, Strom's just going to flame out, though. He hasn't played since.
He's playing some deck Dan built, so he'll either do really well or flame out. So.
Dan, yeah, okay. Let's move on.
All right.
Graduating cut shit.
All right. So, over under 4.5 DC in the graduated cut. Does that include Wisconsin?
No,
it doesn't.
The graduated cut, so that's just a record-based cut to make day 2.
Right. Yeah, the 50.
Make the second day.
Yeah, 50-ish, kind of are we thinking like a 4-2 type record?
Well, there's at least 7 rounds, if not 8, so I don't think a 4-2 will make it.
Oh, so you think it's more like a 6-2 or a 5-2?
Yeah, I think 5-2 is probably where they're aiming.
Okay.
We'll see.
Over under 4.5?
I'll say under.
Somebody else go.
I'll say under.
Under.
I'm going over for graduated. Oh wait, fuck! I don't think that many people go. I changed my mind. I'm staying under because I have Wisconsin.
And that's why, because they only have like a dozen players. I think.
Yeah, and does Broderick show up? Does Patrick show up? Broderick's
Yeah,
a teacher.
Me
it-
saying under is not a diss on.
I'm pretty sure Broderick will be there, but I don't think Brian will be there this year.
Yeah, Brian definitely won't be.
I don't think Dan will be there this year. Not our Dan, the other Dan.
Yeah, no, Dan hasn't. I don't think Dan even plays 2.0, dude.
Right. Yeah.
Is this straight DC? Like DC?
Yeah.
Wisconsin has a separate one.
stuff.
I mean, Simone counts. Simone's the only one who counts.
Right. Simone's the only one outside of DC.
This is not even Wisconsin, so this is not Kid or
Wisconsin has its own spot.
Not Kid, not Sam. Yeah.
So should we lower this to 2.5?
Yeah.
If it's 2.5, I will say over. But if it's 4.5, I'll say under.
We have just changed it to 2.5. The betting line moves just like these.
Nice. 2.5. Sid's gonna say over on 2.5.
I'm gonna stay under.
I believe in DC. I fear DC.
I think
I give them respect.
I think 2 actual people from DC make it. I don't know who else is good from DC that's going besides fucking.
You go over on 2.5.
So everyone's over but me.
Yeah, over 2.5. I
Roy,
think it'll be
Lions.
just over. I think it'll be 3 guys.
Yeah, I think is the right.
Well, that's a good line then. We've got some thought about it. Yeah.
All right. So over under 4.5 SoCal and graduated cut.
Ooh.
Over.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I mean,
I love it, Chris. Oh my god, I love it.
hey, is Bruno going?
No.
Bruno's not going, no.
I didn't think so. I miss Bruno.
Me too.
I'm gonna
Well,
send
no,
him a
not me
message.
as much. I still hang out with him a lot. So.
Yeah, I gotta shoot a message. We talked last time he bullshit talked to me during a Second Sons. That's the last time we talked.
Aaron Glazer sucks balls forever. So good.
That is a good Twitch name.
It was.
Shoot, I'm going over too, man. Way over. Way over.
All right, I gotta say under.
Yeah,
not because
I think it's
SoCal is rolling
comfortably
deep,
over.
and we are coming for you.
Yeah,
Field.
I think it's over just because there's so fucking many of you. Are you playing a team deck? No.
Not this year.
Then I
Boo,
think I
Johnny.
changed my
Johnny. This is me shaking my head. I wish this was a Buzz episode. You could see.
then
me
I think
shaking
I
my head
changed
again.
my mind. I don't.
Okay.
I think a bunch of you play suboptimal decks because you're scrubs.
Like me. No, I already told you I wasn't gonna play jumpers.
All right, boys.
I don't
I'm gonna
know.
also
I'm
say
so
under
close.
here.
I'm
Like,
gonna-
and this is
I'm
not a
gonna go-
hate being thrown
Roy,
at SoCal.
you don't believe? No belief, Roy?
Can I clarify my over? That it's over 4.5 and not 6?
No, I'm under, Johnny. I'm under.
Hey, it's the graduated cut, guys. We're
All
like
right.
top 8. Come on.
All right, gentlemen.
We're talking like 50 dudes.
I mean,
and
what-
No.
ladies.
If you played a group deck, I would have like 7 or 8. But like, I feel like half of you are just gonna play like you're not gonna be ready.
Like we're gonna roll like Tyrell Sun and just try and roll, folks. No, come on.
You should all just play the same deck and just fucking roll.
All right,
Oh, we're
boys.
not DC.
All right,
Play the
boys.
best
Let's
deck.
let's
You did
move
it
on to
last year,
Wisconsin.
not
But I want to
DC.
say one thing. I am going to be cheering for the SoCal boys.
Oh yeah, I
There,
root for
but
you guys, but I don't think
I
it's
don't think
happening.
you're gonna
You guys
have
should play the
4.5
same deck.
guys
Change
in
your
the
mind. Change your mind.
All right,
Fuck you guys. Fuck you too.
all right.
Johnny,
So
Johnny,
Wisconsin.
type your prediction for this one in the chat. I want to know.
All right, Wisconsin is 2.5. Over
So we know
under.
Sam and Kid are making it, right?
Under, yeah, but they're the only ones making it.
No. Oh my God, who's the guy?
Chad.
There we
and
go.
then they
Yeah,
had
it's
2
gonna be.
other
I think it's
people
over
making it.
here. I think it's
I'm over.
3 is
I'm
the exact
easy over.
number.
Chad, so we're thinking. I'm sticking with under. Give me under.
I think it's gonna be Kid, Sam, and Chad, and they're gonna go right into the graduated cut, and they'll be in the top
I think
16
one more of their
minimum.
new kids makes it too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either.
I think Wisconsin guys are as a whole better than DC.
Ooh,
Right,
that's a controversial statement right
In
there.
2.0, I 100% agree. I think that the Wisconsin guys are much more invested in 2.0. I think that they're much more interested. I think Sam and Kid are building a meta in a way that the DC people were 2 years or 3 years ago.
Hashtag DC washed up? Is that what I need?
Well, I don't think they're washed up. I think that they want Seth to win, and then once Seth wins a big title, they're done until they're happy with the way the meta and the game works. Because I think there's a lot of discontent with those guys about the way the game works right now, and we don't have to go into that, but I think that's the case. And I think they really want Seth to win, and then once that happens, they're going to reevaluate.
All right. So we all picked Wisconsin over. Did anyone pick under? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Wisconsin. I'll take under on Wisconsin. Yeah.
All right. So 1 under, everyone else over.
All right. Team Europe in the graduated cut, 3.5.
Before we do this one, does anybody have information on total number of Euros we're going to see?
Nope,
all the national
totally
champions.
Buzz would be there, and he's not going to. I assume Buzz would be on this podcast to help us out with this.
Talking with Buzz about this, though, in general, it seems that all of the European champions are coming. So
I don't know what that number is.
That's like 6 or 7.
6.
So it's the English, French, Nordic, Italian,
and they traditionally do show well.
German, Russian. I think didn't they recently have a Russian national?
Plus LeBlanc,
Russian champion.
There's a Russian bronze medal. I don't believe so.
Well,
no, they just had their national championships
in Russia.
So that's at least 6. Yeah.
Shut up.
In Soviet Russia, sword puts you.
I swear, just this last weekend.
So I would imagine there's going to probably be between 6 and 9 Euro national champions. Now, whether or not they bring...
I'll take the over.
Ooh. I'm going to say under. I think 3 or less.
Yeah, I think under, too. I think this is the year Europe flames out. I don't know any of the European players coming. And I don't think European randos are special.
That's what makes them dangerous.
Yeah, fuck them, they're done.
I feel like last year Europe did really well. The year before they did really well, too.
I think
they do every year.
What? How did they do in
Spain?
We knew who was coming the past at least 3 or 4 years. Like when the Europeans showed up, it was like, oh, you're that guy. It was like there was no I wonder who that one is. No.
Well, let's see. There were 2 Euros in the top 8 for 2.0 last year, right? Because it was Jakob and Buzz, right?
Buzz didn't make that, but they flamed out top 16.
Oh, it was top 16. Okay.
Oh no, I think
we're just talking graduated cut. The stills in top 8.
No, but I'm just thinking about. I'm thinking about how the Euros did in 2.0, not 1.0, where they rolled face along with the SoCal guys and Seth in 1.0. But in 2.0, I think the Europeans weren't as strong last year. And I think that may continue since many of the big names, many of the people who seem to be putting a lot of practice within the Stalic circuit didn't necessarily get that title. That doesn't mean they didn't deserve it. But like Tomas with his Night's Watch deck didn't end up winning that Buzz is another example of a great player who just didn't necessarily close on that one tournament he needed to get the free trip to Worlds. So I think maybe the European field might be a little weaker this year. So I'm also going to go under.
I think the European field is significantly weaker
this year. I think
shots fired, Europe. Shots fired.
What other year are we talking about? Yes.
This is what happens when Buzz is in here. We're just gonna throw shade at the Euros. We on to Canada now?
You're the only person, Roy. Are you under?
I just said under.
Roy, are you under?
Yes, I'm under. You're paying too much attention to Johnny.
But are you under?
Oh, I am under always.
Okay.
All right.
Always.
Under me.
Always.
Roy's the bottom. In the meantime,
power bottom, man. That's the way it works.
2.5.
All right.
Yes, I can see that. 2.5 Toronto in graduated cut.
How many Toronto players are coming to this?
Their full crew, I think 10 or more.
Full crew.
Toronto is also Thunder Bay. Is that them too?
Yeah, that includes all those guys.
I don't even.
Why don't we just say Canada? We'll just make this Canada.
All right. I think Toronto's actually going to be the surprise take shit over of this tournament.
Ooh, really?
If it's all of Canada, I take the over easily.
I mean, there's no all of Canada. There's 2 metas
one
coming.
City of Toronto.
No, I don't believe anyone from Montreal is coming. I don't think any other meta is coming besides a couple Thunder Baby.
Ottawa? Don't people play in Ottawa?
Yeah, but they don't go to Worlds very much.
What about the New Brunswick crowd, like the polar bears and stuff?
I don't know.
Wow, as someone I'm currently in a Atlantic Canadians apartment. My great love is Atlantic Canadian. She would be quite upset with you calling them polar bears. But
Sid is under.
They are not. They are
I don't
not
know what
going.
Glazer's smoking, but it must be something good.
The Eastern Canadians don't really travel much down to Montreal.
Yeah, I think Toronto is going to show up with their fucking A game after Gen Con and then dominating Canadian Nats. I think they're all going to show up with Lenny Dragon again and just run shit.
They're bad.
Like, you got them and Chris will be Lenny Dragon players.
I love how hard you have me on Lenny Dragon. It's perfect.
It's definitely
You
entertaining.
played that 3 months ago, Glazer. 3 months ago.
And
World.
And a whole 2 chapter packs.
Yeah,
three chapter
including
packs.
the seasons pack.
There's actually 4. Wait, Glazer. Since we built that version of Lenny Dragon,
but
there's been 4.
But since Gen Con, 2 chapter packs.
2 chapter packs since Gen Con. Yes, since Chris's version, 2 chapter packs.
One including Craven, and one has 2 new agendas. So yes, 2 chapter packs.
All right. Over under 2.5 Minnesota in graduated cut.
Under.
Under. I think Minnesota scrubs.
I think
I'm
Cameron.
going controversial. I'm saying over.
I think Cameron will absolutely make the graduated cut.
I believe in Cam.
I think it's
believe in
Cameron
Cam.
and Coolio. I think it's exactly 2.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think 3. I think a third sneaks in. I think Cameron and Coolio's influence kind of brings along one more person. So
I think Cameron makes it all the way
I
into the
realize
top.
that's a stretch. I know this is a stretch bet, but I'm going to take
I
it.
think
there's
Scrubs
no
are
influence
scrubby.
in second edition, Lucas. So
Not true. Just not everyone's like me.
I think Cameron is definitely going to make the top 8. I wouldn't be surprised if Cameron makes a really good run at this tournament. He may even win the melee, but that we don't care.
I think Cam is the best Stark player in the world
in
because
North America.
He refuses to play anything else, and he just
Roy, were you over or under in Canada?
Under.
You were under in Canada?
I think Rob and his boys are going to do well, but
Chris,
I
where
think
were you in Canada?
I got to come.
Thank you. Got it. Johnny missed it because he had to pee because he's drinking gallons of water.
All right,
You
are we going to do these top?
Cut top 8. Let's do it fast.
All right, confiscation 6.5 plot confiscations and plot deck in the top 8. 6.5 confiscations in the plot deck in the top
Since
8.
over. I say over. I think confiscation is so good right now, man. Attachments are everywhere. Craven, fuck that attachment, man.
Over.
I'm sticking over too.
I will also take over. I think all of us will. I think it's going to be every single
that's why
plot
I
deck.
set the line. I had originally set the line at 8 because that allows for either everybody to play it or some people to play 2 copies, which would be spicy.
Ooh,
2 confiscations. Ooh.
I think I need to change my deck right now and go 0 attachments just to get those double confiscation people caught up.
Trading in top 8. 4.5.
Under.
Under.
Trading
Yeah,
blows, chunks.
Under. Do we need to lower that? Because that was too easy. Let's make it 3.5.
Let's make it 2.5.
I'm taking over at 3.5.
I am too.
I'm taking under. I think
3.5, I stick with under. 3.
I think
See,
it's
now
under.
it's
I
split.
think what's going to happen.
2.5. I'm taking
3.5.
over.
All right,
Where are we
here's
at?
what I'm going to
3.5?
here is my
3.5,
specific
I'm still under.
prediction about trading. I think people are going to have the Sid read of that card right now, which is that it's garbage, that it can get hit by naval, the drawback is too much, you can run a variety of other plots.
No,
But
I'm
there's
over,
gonna be
buddy. John.
There's going to be one meta that figures it out, that makes the deck that really can abuse trading, and there's going to be 1 or 2 people in the top 8 that had that meta read, and they're going to be, I think, in the top 2 as well. I think trading will be in the final game.
Best decks just don't need it. They just don't need it.
All right, well, we'll see, man. We'll see.
We'll see.
All right, March.
It's coming from the jumper player. Let's be clear.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who
won't play a jumper.
You know I don't play trading and
The
jumper.
guy who
Over
thinks
under 2.5 marched in the
the guy who
top.
thinks counting coppers has too much gold.
Ooh,
All right.
March, that's a good one.
Over. I'm taking over on 2.5.
Is everyone taking over?
You know what? I'm gonna go under. I think March isn't as good as it used to be. I'm gonna go under. Going under. I mean,
Johnny,
I'll-
don't
I'll
fucking tell us how to do
be
our stupid
playing it.
podcast.
I'll be playing March, but I think people are moving away from it a little bit.
I'm going over. Do we want to make that 3.5 to make it more interesting?
Oh well, hell. Why you gotta do that after I get my answer?
Let's do it 3.5.
Oh, if it's
3.5.
3.5 under. Definitely under at 3.5.
I'm sticking over. I think the best decks and the best players run it.
Oh well.
We're moving to 3.5.
I'm sticking over. I think March just. I
Stick with under, man. I think
3.5
March
is a good
makes it even easier.
I think March might be the best plot game. Still.
Still?
I'll
Like,
say
I just want.
It's power
Oh,
behind
wait.
the throne,
What
you know?
happens if someone's playing 2 March? Does that count as 2?
Yes.
It's just one. I mean, it's
No, that would be 2, right? Like, cause it's how many are in the top 8, not how many people are playing it. How many?
no. You don't get to double up on that bullshit. No.
All right. Let's move on to something funner. More fun.
Ooh, that's not a word, bro. Come on.
All
come
right.
on.
Sorry,
Wait,
English
wait.
teachers.
You're a teacher now.
I don't
He's
teach
like
English,
Donald Trump, he
man.
just makes
I
up
teach
words.
social
Oh,
studies.
no.
He's
And it's a
bigly
social
making up
fact that
words.
funner is a word. Okay? All right, here's the point of what I'm trying to say. It is more fun to move on to the next topic, which is 0.5 Tyrell main faction players in the top 8.
Oh no.
Under.
Oh!
0. That's a 0.
Under. It's an under.
Top 8? Yeah, that's not hard.
An under.
Roy?
I'll go over. There'll be one Tyrell player.
Alright, if Roy was gonna say under, I would have gone over to be the one, but I'm going under.
I'm willing. Look, James, I know. Look,
If you're
Sit
bad
the
at Thrones, just
contrarian.
play Terrell
look.
Rush.
This is
If you're bad at Thrones, just play Terrell Rush, and you have a shot. Right?
This is specifically a love song to JC Wama, who was, he was not happy that I threw some shade at him in the last Second Sons episode, or maybe the episode before that. And this is my gift to
Hey, guys.
him. We're gonna
Guys,
go
it's
over
getting
here.
late.
There'll be
Next
at least
watch.
one Tyrell player at Worlds.
Roy, shut
I
up.
graduated, we're gonna get a couple, but come on, no more than that.
1.5 Night's Watch main in the top 8.
Over.
Over.
Certainly
Ooh.
over.
One.
I think under. I'm thinking 1.
At least one meta is going to bring Night's Watch as their deck.
Ooh.
And
So you're going over, Roy?
I'm going
But
over.
If you're good at Thrones,
Is it SoCal?
I don't know.
no, it's not. No, it's not.
No,
It's not your style at all. It's not your style.
No.
We've
Not all of us, though.
Hell no.
So I'm
All right,
going.
so Johnny's bringing Night's Watch something nonsense, which Chris is playing. I see
Johnny's
this.
not bringing Night's Watch. If Johnny's
Night's
bringing
Watch jumpers, guys.
Night's
I got
Watch
this.
Sun. Night's Watch Sun.
Dolores Ed. Night's Watch jumpers. Let's go.
So
Jumper
Sid
singular?
is under. Everyone else
I'm
is
under.
over. Here's a good one. Lanny 3.5 main in top 8.
Do our numbers have to add up at the end of this? Because otherwise we're going to be doing some math.
Yeah, we're not doing math. It's 12:15 already. I ain't got time.
Yeah, I got time
All
for
right.
that. I gotta get up and see.
It says
3.5
under. I say
Lanny,
under.
6
Take
hours,
under.
actually.
I think Lanny is the shit, but I think people are kind of resisting it, so I say under.
I think I'm gonna go over.
I'm gonna go under as well. I think there'll be about like 3.
But yeah, I think 3 is the right number.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I can see exactly 3, which is weird, but yeah. I'm gonna
So
go
then
over.
you should be saying under.
Yeah, but everyone else did.
Oh my god.
Shut up! You just tried to do that 2 seconds ago.
Oh my god.
All right,
Yeah, but you
Stark.
said it before everyone had chimed in, so that doesn't count.
I knew where everyone was going. Stark 1.5.
Oh, please.
Stark
Yeah,
1.5.
Please,
Over.
Stradamus.
I'm going under. I don't think fucking anyone plays Stark. America's
Stark
I think
1.5
enough solid- I
under?
think enough solid players play it. The 2 of them will sneak in.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm
look,
calling two.
Cameron's
I
gonna be
agree.
there, and Cameron's gonna bring a
Over.
really good Stark fealty. So it's gonna be.
Stop sucking on Cameron and move on, please. Thanks.
Bro, Cameron is going top 4. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah. I don't care who that is. Can we just pick?
Cameron is the real MVP, guys.
You know who the real MVP is?
Not
Right.
you, because you're not even coming to Worlds.
Why would I go to Worlds? I'll go to real tournaments.
Because I'm there. That's why you'd go to
I mean, it would be good to do a live Second
No,
Sons
never
with all of us in the
embraced.
same place.
I'll see you.
Blazer.
I'll see you in Sweden or Poland. I'll see you in Poland.
There is
Poland.
actually-
Fracas. You'll see me at the Fracas, bro. Let's
There
do
is
it.
actually-
Play 17.
A chance that I can make Thrones War this year. So.
All right. What you got, bitch?
Oh,
You're coming to Thrones
Roy.
War?
There's
Roy's
a
my
chance.
That's Roy.
I
Wait,
was
wait,
I was
stop
100%
the
coming. I
presses.
convinced everyone, and I'm off.
Did Roy just say Thrones War?
Yeah, there's a
2017?
chance.
Did
I
he
could-
just say that?
With
Roy,
my new
you're over.
new job, I have the money to go out to California, and I just have to
Oh my
figure
god,
out the
Roy,
time.
please come and hang out
Roy,
at
are
Thrones
you
War.
over?
That would be sick.
For Stark, I will actually go with you, Glazer. I'm going to say under. I think it's just going to be Cameron.
Barra 2.5 top 8
Over.
Under.
over.
hmm I think Barra is the silver
bet-
bullet.
SoCal's going over. They're such bitches.
No, I said
I
under.
say
Said under?
under.
Yeah.
Sid says under. Barra, no, I
I
think
think-
two is right
So
for
I'm
Barra.
doing-
Yours
I'm
good.
doing my own math, even if nobody else is, and I've got 3 Lanny, 2 Night's Watch, and 2 Stark already in the top 8, so I don't have room for 3 Vera.
That doesn't work. Yeah, I agree with Chris. Under.
Over. I think Barra is the silver bullet. I'm just going to keep saying it. Barra is the deck I would bet on
Wait,
more than
Vera is Coors Light? That sounds terrible.
Under. Let's go.
All right. Greyjoy.
0.5. Is that too high? Should that just be 0.5?
It should be 0.5. I'm still going to go under.
0.5 Greyjoy, and I'm still going under.
Greyjoy.
0.5, I'll take. I'm going to take
Taking
1.
over.
I say under. Greyjoy does not make it top 8.
Greyjoy does not make top 8. I agree.
Flames out in the graduate.
All right, I'm the
Keep that
contrarian on
next
this one.
year.
I like it.
All right. So Martell 2.5.
Under.
Over. I think DC brings Martell.
You think so?
Yeah, that's my call. I think they actually bring Martell Wolf. I think they pull a giant fuck you.
No, you know what? All right. I think they bring Martell Fealty.
They're on level 3 while we're on level 2.
Exactly.
I think they bring Fealty.
1.5 or on level 2. I say under.
I'm gonna say under because I think it's gonna be
slow
2.
down. The last 3 series of bets have not been entered by our scribe.
It's okay. It's okay.
We'll get him in there.
I think Martell is also.
It's on the record, right? People get the cast. It's on the record.
Martell, am I the only over for Martell?
You're the only over for Martell. I'm under. I think 2 is the sweet spot for Martell at the most.
I think it's 3.
Targ 1.5. Targ 1.5. Top 8. Under as well.
All under?
Sid's going over. I think Targ gets 2. I think Targ sneaks 2 into the top 8.
All right, over under.
Not the worst number. It just doesn't work.
All right, I'll do this.
I don't want to do the next question. That's going to take 2 years. Let's just delete it.
Okay, that's fine. All right, most popular neutral card. We have 4 options: Rattle Shirts, Milk, Put, Tears. I'm deleting the last option because it's terrible. So.
Yes, good call.
All right. So Rattle Shirts, Milk of the Poppy, Put to the Sword, or Tears of Bliss. Or, all right, you know what, Chris? That's a good option. We'll add next one. Or Varys. That's actually a good option.
I like that. I say milk. Milk, man. Milk and honey, it is the season. Milk everywhere. You better have a way to deal with milk. And that might be Rattle Shirts. So maybe milk, subtext Rattle Shirts, but milk.
I'm going Rattle Shirts.
I'm going milk.
Wait, Aaron, what was yours, Aaron? Rattle Shirts?
Yeah.
And Chris was milk, right? And I'm going to say Put.
Dude, run 3x milk and flirt with a cut. That's what I say. You're going to have a shot.
All right, most popular agenda in the top 8.
So, and the options are, because we're going to just do options here.
I mean, it's anything. What do you think? We all know what the fucking agendas are. We've played through it before.
All right.
I'm going Fealty.
Most popular in the top 8? Fealty? Come on, man.
I think Fealty, man. Hey, here's a spoiler. Economy is still really fucking good.
You should play this game more, Glazer, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
You're right.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see.
I see banner, bro. Oh, wait,
banner has to be a banner of a faction, though. It has to be banner of a faction. You got to be specific here. That's where you get tripped up, Sid.
Banner Dragon. Sid says.
What do you got, Roy?
All right, I'm thinking.
Go winter, Roy.
You know what? I'm actually going to go summer. Because I think if one Targ deck makes it, and at least...
You sweet summer child.
Yeah, I'm a sweet summer child. All right. So, last but not least, we're just going to do this.
Winning faction.
Winning faction first.
Lannister.
Yep. You know why, Lannister? Because it'll make everyone's head explode, and that's a good thing.
All right.
I wanted to pick Night's Watch, but pissing people off is so much better.
All right. So Chris and Aaron agreed. Sid?
I agreed, Lannister. Sid
I'm going to be contrarian. I'm going to say Baratheon.
Ooh.
Just winning agenda.
Dragon.
Oh.
He calls his own shot. He called it his own shot, guys. Oh
Watch.
Banner watch? What? Get out of here, Glazer. What are you talking about?
Watch. So you think Lanny
Watch? What are you talking? What are you
Watch
saying?
is gonna win? Oof. Glazer.
Watch was supposed to be our agenda.
So are we connecting?
It wasn't out.
Are we connecting those two? So Roy, are you making a bit? Is this a Barra agenda?
I'm gonna say Barra. This one is much more to me a long shot, but I'm gonna have faith and say Barra Summer. I think the Barra Summer deck is ridiculous.
All right, I'll do the controversial thing and say Lion, you scrubs. Come on,
so Lannister Banner of the Lions coming for you?
That's right.
Lanny Banner. All right, whoa. No. You can't do that.
One of these back.
No.
Lannister's winning on one of these.
Disagree. Sid can't do that.
The field.
Sid can't do a meme agenda. All right.
That's really smart.
Lannister banner of a lion is entirely a meme agenda that Aaron created for trolling.
No, it got second place at Siege of Highgarden.
It did. Siege of Highgarden.
Right.
After
To troll.
I
Aaron. What tournament was it that you were in the top 4 that we did, Aaron?
So Sid's just covering his bases.
That's right.
Aaron was running what? Landing no agenda.
Right. Where does the winner come from? Asia/Australia, i.e. the places that will put maybe one person each. Canada, DC, Europe, Midwest, East Coast United States, SoCal, or the field.
SoCal.
Ooh.
You're such a bitch.
Such loyalty, Chris. I love it.
I mean, Roy would pick New York, but them hoes ain't loyal.
I have faith in my boys.
I'm going.
I would pick New York
Canada.
if New York was there. Sorry, Patrick.
I'm going with Canada.
Who is coming to New York, Roy? Is it just
no
Patrick?
one?
Who else is
No
going?
one.
Of the greater,
I like that Patrick is New York now.
He gets New York, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's basically New York. Of the greater of the New York Canadian Alliance, just Patrick, and Matt Gelman, and Matt.
Yeah.
You guys already know what I'm going to say. SoCal's taking this thing, no question.
So what you got, Roy?
The field.
Wow, Roy. So like Chad
the other 150 people.
No, he's got what's his stupid name?
Roy has numbers.
Didn't you pick Cameron, Sid?
Oh, shoot, no, there's a good guy from named Chad already.
All right, so
Brett from Sheboygan's gonna win this thing. Come on,
Johnny says we should pick a name. So I'm gonna pick Corey Gulch.
Wow, pick a name.
He's not showing up. It doesn't matter. I don't know who's going.
Yeah, I don't want to pick a name because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to pick a name either. I think.
Wait, Chris, you pick SoCal. You know everyone who's going from SoCal. Pick
you
a name, bro.
You can pick yourself, or you can pick Ryan. Or Johnny.
No, you can pick Johnny.
I don't know.
Johnny.
I don't want to pick a name.
I mean, Ryan's a safe bet because we know Ryan has the stamina. Like, say what Ryan's got the stamina that very few people have.
All right, I'm gonna pick a name because why not? I pick Kraus because he's as old as me and he's been playing as long as me, he's going
so hard for Kraus. I would.
Oh my gosh! If Kraus wins, I will start the Church of Kraus.
I'm going to hold his mouth open and drop a beer down his.
I'm gonna go Rob St. John.
Ooh, wow!
Rob St. John, that's a good pick.
I love Rob.
Right?
That's why I picked.
Is Rob going?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
He is. I think he always plays well.
Rob's good.
Yeah, I say Rob. Rob's a great pick, man. Good pick.
Rob's a very solid pick. So I want to do one thing here live, which is that we need to guilt Sid and Chris into making sure that the world champion, because they're going to be there, his first interview that's not with FFG is here on Second Sons. You guys going to get that for us?
We'll make it happen.
You'll make it happen?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's SoCal.
We had the first interview with Chris Schoenthal.
If it's SoCal, it can be guaranteed. If it's not,
all right. We want it before Beyond the Wall. We want it before Will.
Because here's the thing. Beyond the Wall's not going to be there.
Yeah.
White Book's not going to be there. We can make that happen. Not a problem.
Banter behind the throne, motherfucker.
Yeah, do you...
hey, if the winner
is... want Sid and I to just actually do it? Like,
sure.
sit down with
them? Yeah, you can do it, yeah.
I mean, if you do it live, if you're willing to do it live, because everything...
Yeah, but we also want to have him on for the shit-talking. Like, we had you and Sid
we want to get him on the show.
Wait, can I just say something important? Like, if you win Thrones, don't come on this fucking podcast first. Go on Banter. Banter's the best
part. Well, I mean, go...
Aaron, how dare you?
I mean,
it
look...
fucking is. It's so much more fun than everything else.
If you're North American, it's going to be real hard to get the same recording time.
It's not as good because Craven's not on anymore, really. And, like, the interplay with Craven was really awesome. And, Craven's been on our show, so...
Yes. He is a second son by invite, so...
He's a third son.
A third son, yes. All right.
That's what we should call our extra guests. They're third
sons.
It is done.
Look, we had one of our best episodes was when we had Chris and Seth on here to do the Gen Con, so I think we should definitely do that.
Yo, guys, Second Son's out. We done. I'm going to sleep.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Fun episode, everyone. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at Worlds, and those of you who can't come, we'll miss you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come up, say hi. It'll be great to meet some new people. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have jerseys made like those goofy white book jerseys that they had at Gen Con? Can we have Second Sons like jerseys like that?
I doubt it. I totally
just
Second Sons is terrible.
In true Second Sons tradition, it'll just be like a white T-shirt with some puff paint that we got at Walmart.
There you go.
There we go.
Yes,
If you guys do that and get a picture,
this is
it'll be
fucking
our
up the
new
call 'cause I'm
banner.
hanging up.
It'll be our new
Yes,
banner.
no,
Later.
hang up.
Bye.
Yeah,
I'm
goodbye,
tired.
Aaron. I gotta also go to bed soon too, but I will stay on for this little bit. You should definitely do that. All right, that would be awesome. All right, I'm very sad I won't be at Worlds this year.
Man, next year for sure.
Next year
Come
for
on,
sure.
this,
Next
but
year for sure.
The news that you're coming to Thrones War.
There's a good chance
Thrones
that we're
War,
coming
Roy,
to Thrones War.
man, if you're at
Make the
Thrones
right
War,
choice.
oh my
All right.
gosh.
It's
Roy,
in
if
the
you
it's in the
confirm
like
for Thrones
60
War,
percentile.
I'll make the extra effort to draft you, man. I'll get you on my team.
There we
Let's
go,
do this.
Sid.
Are we gonna have bidding war over Roy? That'd be
Oh, totally.
Now
Like,
that is
totally.
the kind of ego boost that is going to guarantee that I'm there. So,
There you go.
and we can do some live Second Sons and make Aaron feel real sad. So, and that's half the point of Second Sons.
Aaron has hinted that he would come to Thrones War too. So if you come, I think it'll give him a little extra push.
Yeah, that absolutely. So
I
there we go.
I thought that he just said while he was on the podcast that it was the opposite of that he was planning on coming and then he heard Roy was coming. So I don't know.
That's just Aaron talking shit. If I'm
Aaron's
going,
snarkiness.
then
Yeah,
he
don't
ain't-
believe it. If Roy's going, Aaron will feel so much jealousy. He'll burst.
that's Sid's got a little bit of a better read on Aaron than
Oh yeah.
than
The
you
true
do.
Aaron is super. He's got super. What's that? What's that disease? The fear of missing out disease. He's got it big time. He'll definitely show up.
That's why Aaron and I are such good friends. We have very similar neuroses. All right. On that note, we will actually end this episode. It was a really good one, considering we didn't have Buzz, we didn't have the European perspective on this. But I want to thank you, handful of people who stuck with us through this audio-only episode. We hope we won't ever do it again. We're trying to make some sort of backup plans for when Buzz can't make it, so we can get the video version of this out. But otherwise, this will probably be available tomorrow night, Friday morning. So, hope you enjoy the listening, and have a good week, and enjoy Worlds if you're going to be there. Thank you, everyone.